when it's really, things aren't maybe not be going well all the time. What's he like? Has he been different in this camp than you've seen him before, or just is that how he is? He just kind of reads it.
That's how he is. He just always comes out there and he always brings his best. And he always tries to bring the best out of everyone out there too. That's just the leadership that he has in him. And he's always just calm, cool, and collective out there, he's 43 years old. He's seen it all. He's seen basically every receiver in the game, every type of receiver, big guy, small guy, little guy, fast guy, huge guy, you name it, tight end position, running back position, receiver position. So he just, it's just how he is. He just loves the game of football. He loves to coach up players. And it's always a great coaching point too. So he's not just like a player out there. He's been in the game for a while. He's like a player and coach out there in a way, for sure, because he knows how to get things done. So when he has something to say, you listen.
Now that you've been, on the field and gone through the training camp, spending a year away from the game, what do you expect? What do you think it'll be like for you walking into New Orleans? I know the atmosphere will be different, but in a big game like that, week 1 of the NFL.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game. I mean, we still got a long ways to go. We're just about to break camp here. We've been going at it versus each other, but it's about to be time to start preparing for the Saints. That's how you can get ready. So all the jitters, all the jitters aren't totally there. That if I'm prepared, if I prepare myself to the max that I can, I can go out there and be confident that I'm going into the game, knowing what I need to do and knowing that I'm prepared to the best that I can be. But I mean, it's going to probably be a little different, obviously, because there's going to be no fans. So, and it's going to be my first game ever, coming out of a year of not playing. So, but I've been playing for 9 years. So I played in the NFL for 9 years. It's just like practice. It just came back like that. I mean, so right. I'm hoping that that's how it is for the game. I'm going to prepare it to the best that I can. And hopefully right when I get out there, it's just like any other game. Game on, baby, from the first play on.
Nice, Rob.
Okay, next is going to be Greg Allman.
Hey, Rob, on Friday, you guys had the scrimmage out there at the stadium. I know you didn't have a ton of reps there, but for you, it's your first time to really feel like you're in that stadium. I just want to ask you what that went like and how much it helped you guys to have something close to live reps without having the preseason games you normally have to get ready.
It helped tremendously because it's a new team, new organization. So you don't really have the feel of how they do things on game day. So we kind of, before the scrimmage started, we kind of went through things like how we would on game day, like how to warm up, routes on air, 7-on-7, team, all that type of stuff. Everyone does it different. So it's good just to have that feel. So when game time comes, you're not scrambling around, running around, seeing where you need to be, not warming up properly. So that's always good to get the little things out of the way. And that helped out big time in the scrimmage. And then on top of it, it was good to be in a stadium with a lot of noise, with lots of substitution too, to get all that down. Instead of, practice, you're all over the place on the field, the defense over there, offense over there. It's just good to have that feel of substitution, in and out, being out on the field. The only reps that are going on are out on the field currently right during that scrimmage. So it's just good to go out there and get that feel of what it's going to be like for a game.
Robbie, you said everybody does things differently. Are there things off the field or organizationally that the Bucs do differently that you've adjusted to, that you've noticed since from your Patriots days?
I mean, it's always just little things. I mean, like I said, like the warm up for the pregame, going out there and just doing little different things like that. But I mean, basically, just having, being in two organizations now and hearing from other players with other organizations, it's just a little different in terms of that. And just like practices wise and all that, like just the feel of how everything is. But overall, I mean, it's football. It's a football program. It's the NFL. It's an NFL organization. So it's just getting adjusted to little things like that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next is going to be Jenna Lane.
Hi, Rob. I heard that Coach Arians is still continuing to trash talk you a little bit. Not as much about the humidity, but I guess you were only supposed to have about 15 plays on Friday. You played 16, and he said you're going to get about 10 more, so suck it up. What was that experience like for you, and what's it like having that sort of banter back and forth with your coach like that?
It's great. Coach Arians is a great coach, and I love listening to him talk. He always has great coaching points. He's an offensive-minded coach, which is cool. And whenever he talks, you listen. And whenever he has a coaching point, you listen too, because it's always a great coaching point. It's always a coaching point that just doesn't help, yourself in a route or a block, but also helps the team out. So the trash talking is always cool too. I mean, that's part of football. I mean, there's never going to be just a pat on the back every single play or, every single route. Oh, good job. No, it's football. You got to be mentally tough. You got to be mentally strong. And you're going to get called out at times if you're not doing things right. So it's all part of the game. And I just got to be better at all times, conditioning wise, route running wise, in the blocking game. Just always got to be on top of your game.
And what's it like when Arians, because he does get animated on the sidelines, and we've heard him in practice before where he's gone off. He likes to use a lot of colorful language. What was it like the first time you heard him do that, and what's it like to be on the receiving end of something like that?
It's kind of, at first it's like, wow, that was pretty funny if you're not receiving it. And then when you receive it, you're like, oh shoot, like it's not as funny anymore. Well, I got to get better. I got to go out there and perform. It gets motivating though, for sure. I mean, when the head coach is getting on you, it motivates you. It's all for a good, positive way. I mean, it may be colorful language, but that's fine. It's a game of football. It's all to be, to make yourself better. It's all to make the team better. And that's what it's all about. So it's good to have that too. It keeps your tail on point, keeps you going, and keeps you motivated.
All right, next is going to be James Palmer.
Rob, the word collaboration was talked a lot about with this offense between Tom and what Bruce designs. But Bruce has been very open about saying the quarterback dictates the offense, and what he's comfortable with is going to be what we do. How much from your past with Tom are you seeing there throughout practice? Are you seeing more of what you and him have done in New England being a part of this?
I mean, there's always things that are going to be different going from one offense to another. But, it's fun learning a new offense. It's fun learning a whole new system. It's definitely a challenge learning all new terminology. But, there's things that are similar. There's things that are totally different. But it's great to be out there with Tom. When the field hits, it's the players, that dictate what's going to go on. How we play and all that. We can get coached up to the T, but once we hit the field, we got to be able to bring those coaching points and bring them out on the field. And Tom's a great leader. He's a great guy to have out there because he's not just, playing out there with us. He's also hitting us with coaching points too and keeping us on our toes at all times. Even in the huddle, he may just throw a quick pointer out there to you just to, coach you up to make sure you know what you're doing. So that's what's great about being out there with Tom. I mean, he's been in the game for so long now, so he knows, not just to how to play the game as a player, but he also knows how to coach up players too and help out the team to the best that he can.
You touched on it a little bit, but could you kind of maybe take a stab at what that first snap will be like in New Orleans? You maybe not, you might not have known you were going to come back, right? You might have thought you were done. Yeah. So getting a chance to, what would that first snap actually be? Do you want to hit somebody right away? What do you think goes through your head to make you feel like you're back?
Oh man. Well, that first snap's not going to be for about another, 12 days, is it? So just preparing to the best that I can. So when that first snap does hit, I'm ready to go. I'm prepared. I'm not thinking. And hopefully it's just filled with joy, man. That's what I'm going for. Just going out there and be filled with joy and just be filled with adrenaline. That's all you can ask for, joy and adrenaline. That's a great combo right there.
Our next question comes from Ed Encina.
Hey, Rob, just kind of feeding off of that, 12 games till that, game in New Orleans. Given the fact that you did have last year away from the game, what do you want to accomplish to be ready for that and be full go?
What I want to accomplish until the game is gaining the trust of my teammates, gaining the respect of my teammates. So when I go out there out in the field, that guy next to me trusts me. And I can go out there out in the field and trust the guy next to me too. And that's what it's all about in practice, is gaining the trust of each other. So when you go out there, you can perform. You can perform as a team. You can perform as a as a player and do what I need to do and go out there and just do my job at a fast pace without thinking, and just, and just play the game of football without thinking about it. And that's what it's all about. That's what you need to accomplish in practice. In order to go out there and play that game fast and physical and not be thinking and fast movements, you got to learn how to do that in practice. You got to learn all the plays. You got to learn your teammates. You got to learn where you are situated. You got to learn where the other players are situated, where the ball is going to be, where the defender is going to be. And that's all in practice. And that's what it's all about. So just gaining the trust of my teammates and showing that I can go out there and consistently, do what I need to do. So I can go out there and do what I need to do on game day. So that's what it's all about right now in training camp and preparing.
And Rob, I think the last time we talked to you, you mentioned that you were doing, the TB12 method. How does that help you different than maybe the traditional, training and everything like that? And obviously Tom's used that to, extend his career, obviously. I mean, when you do get older, is that a little bit more important? Do you see that kind of helping you out as you do get older, I guess?
Yeah, it's helped me out tremendously. I don't think I would even be here if I was never introduced to that method in the first place. Over the last few years, I definitely adapted, my lifestyle basically, and joining the TB12 method. And I truly believe that I won't be here at 31 years old playing the game of football without it. So it helps out tremendously. I recommend it to any player. If they ask about it or they don't ask about it, I mean, it definitely helps out recovery big time. And it's kind of common sense. In order to play the game of football, you got to take care of your body. And the TB12 method is all about taking care of your body. Maybe, yes, you can get away with, I got away with it in your young 20s and all that. But if you want to play for a long time, you want to play, in the double-digit years, you got to take care of your body. And that's what it's all about. And that's what the TB12 method does for you. It takes care of your body. It introduces you how to keep yourself pliable. And I love it. It's working for me, and I recommend it to anyone that asks.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions. We're going to go with one from Kevin O'Donnell and then one from Steve Isbitz.
Hey, Rob, I saw the Bucs had you wired up during practice this past week. It looked like you're having a lot of fun out there. How different is this environment, this Buccaneer environment for you when you're out there? Obviously, it's been a while since you've been with a different team, but obviously with the Patriots, obviously. But how different is this environment for you? How do you feel?
Just coming into a new organization and all that, you got to learn how everything works. I kind of felt like a rookie with experience at first. You got to gain the trust of your teammates. You got to gain the respect of your teammates. You got to go out there and learn the system, and it's football though. I mean, I wouldn't say really much is different when you go out there and hit the field. It's football. Football is always going to be full speed. Practice is always going to be full speed. And that's what it's all about. So going out there, practicing hard, playing hard, gaining the trust of your teammates, that I would say that's really doesn't change wherever you are. So just being out there out on the field, that's just me being me. I've been like that kind of like my whole career.
Okay, our next question is from Steve Isbitz.
Rob, what's one big thing or player that stands out for you on this Bucs defense?
I like Barrett's quickness. It definitely stands out. I go versus him all the time. His quickness is unbelievable. If it's in the pass game or if it's in the run game, you got to be on your toes at all time, and you got to be super aware with him at all times, because in the run game, he can slip right by you. In the pass game, he can rush right around you. And it's very, very difficult to get him because he's so slippery like that and he's so quick. So that stands out. I go versus him a lot, and he's gotten me. I'm not going to lie. He's gotten me plenty of times. I got him a few times, but I think he's got me more than I got him. So I gotta say that stands out tremendously, man. He's a good player.
All right, that's all for our regular media availability. We now have a few questions from Carmen for our junior Bucs.
Hi, Rob. I don't think we've really gotten a chance to talk yet, but I'm our staff writer here.
Hello.
And we have a couple of questions from 2 9-year-old Bucs fans.
All right, let's do it.
So Max first wants to know, his question comes with a piece of advice.